captains, and welcome to this example battle of the German Tier 4 tech tree battlecruiser Moltke. Before looking at the matchmaking for this battle, we can take a quick look at the equipment setup and captain skills. Although at Tier 4 there's really not much to see here. Unfortunately, due to the replay bug, we're unable to see the enemy team for this matchmaking, but as a Tier 4 battlecruiser we are top tier for this battle. Moltke is a development of the von der Tann battlecruiser, featuring heavier armour and an extra turret. Some key attributes to recognise about Moltke before going into battle. She has the best speed and the best concealment by sea of all battleships at Tier 4. Curiously, only 3 battleships have worse concealment by air. So having success in Moltke means making use of that concealment and the speed, because Moltke has the worst HE damage per minute of all battleships at Tier 4 and the second worst AP damage per minute. So that would indicate being able to be focus fired by the enemy team is not a good idea. It's kind of a hit and run battleship. You also want to get used to switching the ammunition type, because the AP can work well against broadside targets, but you want to be switching to HE for anything that's angled. In common with all German battleships and battlecruisers, the dispersion can be a bit wonky for Moltke. But while I try to catch up with my teammates in the northeast here, let's see if we can pick out a target to get some early damage.
Enemy aircraft carrier sighted.
There's a nice broadside cruiser. There you go, nearly 3,000 damage to kick off with. I'll take that. Our Kuma has sailed right into some crossfire there. He's got some good torps away, takes an enemy down, but he goes down as well. And that's a part of the learning process. There's the enemy Moltke, broadside on, and not using his full speed by the looks at the moment, so let's get an AP salvo away. Looks like he is accelerating now, so I'm going to miss with most of those, but there you go, over 7,000 damage. Now my team seems committed to pushing at the moment, and I'm going to hang around to defend the base in case we collapse on one of the flanks. Meantime, I'll keep trying to chip away damage on the enemy ships. I might not sink them myself, but at least I can help my teammates to get the final kill. Now, grinding through ships in the lower tiers for any particular tech tree line, they're typically not exciting battles, but you do learn some good habits in terms of your positioning and recognising what your ship can do well or otherwise. Now give it a try for yourself, pushing into the enemy with Moltke. My experience is that doesn't usually lead to good outcomes. You can see in the bottom left hand corner here that Moltke has that offset turret arrangement. probably have been better switching to HE for that particular target, considering it's bow in. The enemy Kaiser is offering us a nice broadside. Shots away on the Kaiser. And there you go, there's another 7,000 damage. And here we have a broadside cruiser. How are we going to do here? Okay, that's good damage, but disappointed not to get a citadel. We need good damage now as well, because we're 2 ships down on the enemy. I need to move to where I can best support the friendly Wyoming here now. That's a poor result from that salvo. I'm losing angle now on the ships that they're attacking the Wyoming. What I need to do is turn and intercept them as they come into our base. Wyoming, buddy, you're on their own for the moment. Oh, and Wyoming's done a job. He's taken one down. So, I guess it's time for me to contribute a bit more now then. Come on in, let's be seeing you. Here we go. He's just angling slightly. Nice job. Another 7,000. That seems to be a consistent salvo score for me in this battle. The secondaries are starting to contribute now, and the secondaries on the Moltke are actually good for gunning down destroyers if they try to YOLO against you. Let's see what we can get off of this cruiser now. Shots away. Another 6,000, thank you very much. I'll take it. There you go, Wyoming takes down another enemy ship because he does have that punching power in his armament. Whereas in the Moltke, you're really fighting a battle of attrition, wearing the enemies down to the point where you can sink them. Which is a good clue to the fact you do not want to be brawling in Moltke. That said, now that Wyoming has sunk those 2 enemy ships, and with myself on near full HP at this point in the battle, this is time to use Moltke's speed and start to push towards the enemy. And because I have that extra HP at the moment, I want to push ahead of Wyoming so that I become the focus for the enemy and Wyoming can fire the more devastating shots from behind. That's a disappointing salvo, but we are 3v1 versus that ship at the moment, so at least I'm contributing. I'm not too worried by the enemy CV, but I'm going to switch targets at the moment and start to chip away on the enemy Moltke. 5 ricochets, not happy with that, but I'm not switching to HE because I'm going to have Moltke's broadside soon. Right, here she comes, but I want to get as near a full broadside as possible, so wait for it, wait for it. There we go. There you go, that makes up for the ricochets at 15,000 salvo. I want to remain as angled as possible while I wait to reload, and then I can spin and get the broadside away. Okay, here we go then, waiting for that opportunity one more time. Nearly there, 3 more seconds. We're good to go. Okay, decent, but less than I was hoping for. And Wyoming tide is up. From being 2 ships down not so long ago, we're looking good now. Full steam ahead for the enemy base now. And while I'm travelling in there, hopefully you've been able to see in this battle about the effectiveness, or otherwise, however you care to see it, about the guns on Moltke. Still, having not sunk any enemy ships, we do have 89,000 damage, so if you pick your targets correctly, you can mount up some decent damage scores. Having said that, since Moltke's broadside is not devastating, it is a case of attrition wearing damage down on the enemy ships. You do need to be careful, use that speed and concealment to survive longer in the battle so you can continue to chip more and more damage. While I continue capping the enemy base, take a look at the position of our CV. For me, that CV could be a lot closer to supporting myself in Wyoming now. There's no need to be that far back. Even when the enemy had a couple of other surface ships, we looked well in control at that point. The point here is the increased flight time that's required for our CV to actually support us. I took that torpedo in the bow, which is now flooding, but I'm not going to repair just yet because the enemy still does have another attack run, and what I don't want to do is repair a flooding and then have a subsequent one hit me afterwards. So let's see what the outcome of this torpedo is. Hard to avoid, by the way. There you go, I can repair now. And heal. Save your heals where you can because they come in really useful towards the end game.
Problem solved, sir.
Now the enemy CV is in firing range for myself and the Wyoming, but our CV, instead of just keeping the enemy CV spotted, decided to attack, and now look at that flight time to get another spotter out. Do you know what? I think I'm going to spot the enemy CV before our friendly aircraft do.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Here we go. We have the enemy CV spotted now. Okay, Wyoming gets the credit for another ship sunk. He has that knockout punch. There you go then, battle over. Let's take a look at the final scores. There we go, we finish on 94,000 damage, well nearly 95. No ship sunk. That's good enough to give us a second place finish in the team, but not even 1,000 base XP. Okay, just time to share the detailed report with you then, as I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Goodbye for now.